Hi, I'm Lisa Marie Manso, and I lead the global team at Broadcom for Value Ops, our Clarity and Rally solutions. And during our work, we get to speak with wonderful customers like Boeing in our community sessions. Boeing has experienced a number of challenges this year, especially with the worldwide travel ban. And so I'm excited today to talk to Linda Van Vliet. And Linda is going to share with us their adoption of lean agile practices and value stream management. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Lisa Marie. It's great to be here.
Thank you. So let's just get started, Linda. Maybe for everyone, could you tell us a little bit about Boeing?
I can. So everyone recognizes Boeing and our commercial jetliners, but our company is worldwide in 150 countries. Instead of just commercial airlines, we also have military aircraft, satellites, weapons, all part of our defense system. We also have a Boeing services culture where we perform all kinds of services, including cybersecurity and things that people don't even realize that we do. We have about 140,000 people currently, down from 166,000 2 years ago. So we have gone through significant change in the last 2 years, but we were actually prepared to do that.
So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here, and the excitement that came on about value stream management? How did you get involved and what all happened there?
Yes. I am part of our IT strategic program team. And our CIO was very forward thinking. And in about 2015, he formed a team of 5 people to invent portfolio management at Boeing. And I was one of those team members. And I actually was the one who would implement that portfolio management process and eventually our value stream processes in Clarity, not only for IT, but as of last year, across the Boeing enterprise.
That's terrific.
Yeah, we are an IT organization of over 6,500 persons. And in the last several years, we've gone from a $3.5 billion budget to a $2.2 billion budget. And that'll be part of our story here, using value stream management.
Well, that seems to be a terrific segue. Let's talk about what your definition of value stream management is.
Okay. Value stream management to us is a way to look at the business objectives from the internal customer perspective. Boeing IT doesn't sell our services. We service all of our internal customers. And we wanted to look at them in a lean, agile way, emphasizing the value of work, not the features that we were actually accomplishing. So value stream management set the stage for us to look at a way of transforming Boeing. As you can see in IT departments, a lot of money is wasted. And a lot of time is spent on low value work, mostly because the department doesn't know what the highest value work is. So it's common to have about 60% of IT spend just doing maintenance activities. So we wanted to change that, and using portfolios, drive a culture that would help us mature and not just keep IT the way it traditionally had been at Boeing, and adopting this way of working was the way to transform the architecture that we used here at Boeing.
Terrific. That sounds like a lot of work to go through. So how did you plan to get there?
So we started our second century of Boeing in 2017. So we've been around a long time, doing business the same way. We had all the traditional IT towers, infrastructure, factory systems. And when we had to look at priorities or made cuts, they were all done in those traditional towers. We decided that using portfolios, we could look across all the towers and actually prioritize our work and enable business transformation. So our portfolio governance, which took about 2 years to accomplish and was well worth every minute of it, let us look at the discipline and funding decisions we were making and transform our resources to do the highest value work for Boeing instead of maintenance work, which wasn't providing the value that we wanted. So just having all the work visible to leaders in the very first year of portfolio management allowed us to save $25 million by getting rid of overlap. So, for example, we had analytics being done in every IT tower. But by putting together an analytics organization, we save so much money of overlap. The same for procurement and a lot of other things that IT traditionally does.
Right. Right. And I think, I know we're going to talk a little bit about your from and to state, but, when we talk to customers in the from state, usually they're talking to us about, well, when we try to prioritize, everything is number one. There's never anything that's number two or number three. Everything has to be number one. And organizations have talked about this organization fatigue, where they might set out in their budgeting process to create hundreds and hundreds of business cases for the budgeting process, only to really fund 15% of those things. If you think about that, that's tremendous waste. So how did you go from sort of traditional ways of doing things to this lean, agile mindset where you're moving away from that, sort of bogged down system?
Yeah, we really did a tremendous shift in culture. And that is not easy for a large company, 100-year-old organization. So it took real purposeful change. And luckily, our change came from our CIO, who sits on our executive council and worked with the Boeing CEO the entire way. And our portfolio management journey was purposeful change. We wanted to strategically align with the business. And that wasn't happening. The business would prioritize their work. Work for commercial airlines would then get thrown over the fence, and IT would do the work and throw it back. But we learned that that was so far from the agile way that we wanted to do business, and it wasn't getting us the value that we needed. So right away, we decided we needed that strategic alignment. We needed those business persons to approve the work, to prioritize the work, to look at it with us in an ecosystem so that we could all work together. And the lean mindset really helped us do that and bring this into a second century for Boeing. We also established a service culture. A lot of our maintenance work was a service. And if we looked at the overlap and purposely put together those services so that we could lean them out and show the value, create less and less reliance on the old maintenance of just every little application. So our value to the users became strategic. We were able to achieve transparency and have an integrated workflow that allowed us to make decisions together. And it was just a resounding success across Boeing.
That's amazing work. And, you know, we hear all the time this move to break down silos. And I think I've seen over and over and over again, companies reorganizing with this movement, actually shifting departments and breaking down those walls so people can communicate and speak with one another and get to decisioning together. So I'm excited about this part of your presentation to really kind of get the nuts and the bolts of how it all hangs together and what your approach was for your value stream.
Yes, as we moved from portfolio management, we knew we wanted to make sure. So we set up some operational value streams that would let us take that path to maturity. So portfolio management, enterprise decisions, again, like I said, working together with the internal customer. Ecosystem automation, using agile tools like Rally and Clarity allowed us to put everything together. We also had integrated planning, and what we were able to do is have one system of work intake using ideas and clarity, where everybody met together to look at the value of that work and how it was going to be planned and if it would be funded and when. So having all of that work together in clarity allowed us to show business alignment and some of the work that could be done across businesses. And then we looked at strategic workforce planning. We knew that we had way too many people doing maintenance work, and we needed to improve the agility of our workforce and do that type of operation so that we could become more agile. So start our enterprise work intake, and that allowed us to get to the highest maturity by improving our business agility, realizing our business outcomes, maximizing our yield through automation. We took a lot of time to architect and look at common systems and how we could enable those, along with continuous delivery in our safe, agile environment. So deliver the highest value, make sure the teams understand that work, and then not only deliver highest priority work that people envision, but highest priority work for the future. If we're just doing what people want now, then we really haven't accomplished that higher level. We have to also be looking at artificial intelligence and work people want in the future and how we can maximize our potential that way. I hope that resonates with you, Lisa Marie.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it, as a viewer, it occurs to me that there's a lot of moving parts here, and there are probably a lot of people and teams, connected to this. Before we go to the who's involved in the value stream, I'm going to ask you a question that we haven't talked a lot about, but you talked about the value stream for IT. Do you have a sense of how many value streams are being managed across the organization? Is there one value stream per, business org, or essentially how did people do that? How did they think about it?
Yeah, we have one value stream, operational value stream, but it has a lot of different levels below it. And different people might not be involved in every level. They might only be involved in program management or things like that at different levels, financial systems. And so by looking at all the different levels, people are able to find themselves in our value streams. But we've done a lot of delivery to the different teams and make sure that in their performance, they understand where they fit in, and then can roll that up to the high level strategic values.
Right. I like that connection between, the individual contributor or the team, understanding how they connect all the way up to the strategy and to the value stream. That makes a lot of sense. And I would think that, it improves performance and execution. So Let's talk about this a little bit. Can you dive into maybe the teams or the who all is involved in the value stream?
Yes, we understand this is quite an eye chart.
It's busy.
What we wanted to do was make sure that in our safe lean framework, all of what we were talking about with our portfolios and value streams was actually being managed the right way. So we can look at development and operational teams who have their continuous delivery and use Rally and agile tools and DevOps to realize the development work and put it into production for our customers in the program. We also have larger solution areas where we have teams from IT and the business architecting solutions for the future. One manufacturing operations model, one program level model. And we want to put those capabilities into every business to enable us to have solutions that are common for our customers and of high value to them in their strategic operations. We also want to be sure we're looking to the future. Keep our portfolios looking forward and working with research and technology teams to be sure that we are not only standing still, but enabling ethics that take us into the future.
And thinking about the future, I'm just, I'm absorbing what you're showing us here, but thinking about the future, what do you think you'll continue to focus on and what will be the measure of success? How long does this journey go on?
Well, I think that we will find new things beyond portfolios and value stream management as we go into the future. And right now, we've had a very challenging last 2 years. That's not a secret. It's all over the news. And we have been able to remain as stable as possible because of our portfolios and value streams. So our new transformational objectives for this year are to simplify our scope of work through portfolio simplification to the highest value work, as I showed, and build capabilities that are business critical. We don't always think of it that way. We think of high value, but we want to start to think of business critical areas to work in. We also want to operationalize ways of working through lean governance and operations to increase transparency even more than we have. And then we want to continue to generate and sustain savings. Even if our orders would increase next month and put us in a greater financial situation, we don't want to just increase our spend. We want to be sure that we're generating and sustaining some of the savings that we've made. I hope that puts it all into perspective for what we're working on now.
It does, and it sounds like there are exciting days to come. So thank you, Linda, so much for joining us today. This was really an informative session. Any final thoughts?
No, I think that we value our relationship with Broadcom and have even received valuable insights into what the future holds for IT and things like value streams. So we do value that partnership. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Lisa Marie.